Cool. Hello
Hello.
to any of our listeners. This is a special episode of our Next Round on Me pod. No Dan, no Andy, no Josh, but I'm here. And more importantly, Ryan is here.
Hello.
So say hello. Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. So tell
Guidry.
me. Guidry. That is not at all how I read it. Interesting.
Yeah, I hear people say Guidry, Guidry. It's Guidry.
I read it as
I don't really care though. It's like a hard last name to pronounce. Like looking at it, there's like a million different ways in English you could say it. So like I don't like people say that. I'm like, yeah. Like, sure.
No.
Sometimes I'll correct people though.
I'm like, I don't want to say his name and like pronounce it wrong, so I'm just gonna have him say it. So here we are. Well, I'm joined by Ryan, and I'm actually really excited about it because Ryan plays in a great band, actually plays in two great bands. And I had the absolute pleasure of playing with him for a little bit back in the fall. So I'm excited about talking to him. I saw him not too long ago, but we're busy people. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that, talking about maybe some Star Wars if you're interested, maybe some Marvel. I know Ryan's a bit of a nerd like I am. So
a little bit.
So yeah, but yeah, how first and foremost, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. My girlfriend and I are just moving into a new place in Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
So like I'll be doing it for like maybe like 5 days straight, just moving. Just pretty much all day and taking little breaks. But
yeah, okay, cool. I mean, if you kind of said where you live already, so I don't know if you cared too much about that. Or like if you care if I say where you were at before.
I was in New Paltz.
Okay, cool. Yeah. How do you feel? Because are you still a student? Are you done? I'm not too sure.
I am still a student. I have one more semester left. I'm gonna try to do it all online.
Yeah, I was gonna say the commute's not too far, but I don't think you want to commute. All right.
No, it sucks driving over the Mid-Hudson Bridge every day.
Yeah. Did you hear it like closed at like 7 a.m. the other day?
Yeah, that was like the first day we were starting to move.
Yeah.
And so like I saw it in the morning and I was like, oh God. And so luckily we came here around like 9 or 10 and it was all cleared up.
A buddy of mine works like in Poughkeepsie and he travels like an hour, and I texted him and I'm like, hey, that affect you? And he's like, it literally, like as soon as I was about to hit the bridge, it closed. And I was like, oh. He said it took him 4 hours to get to work of just like driving and figuring out how to get there.
You could just go back.
I told him, I was like, dude, just go home.
No, like just go back, finish going down through Highland and you're in Newburgh, and then just get on the Newburgh Beacon Bridge.
I think that's what he had to do, but like I think everyone was trying to do that, so 9W was probably backed up quite a bit.
Yeah, probably.
But cool. Let me just see. Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. I can. Dan can always edit anything. So
yeah. Is it video too? The podcast?
We try to. So there was like this thing called Welder that we were using for a little bit. That it gave us the benefit of, as we recorded, it would live stream on Twitch. But Dan said the Welder account like stopped working, even though like he still pays for it. So he's like he's fighting them right now about that.
That's weird.
We record on last time we were using Discord for a little bit. So we do like to have video, but the issue is Dan wants to get a stronger computer. It's a little more process. I think sometimes I need uploading just takes a little while for him, like where it's like kind of just like a bitch. This is not worth it. So we're mainly audio. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna talk about first. We're gonna talk about some nerd stuff. We're gonna talk about the bands. What's on your mind?
Well,
I have questions I can interview. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited about the place we're moving into. I have my own little desk.
Okay.
It's pretty big and it got like fit all the recording stuff. So I'm really excited to start working on music here.
Okay.
I didn't really have that space at the last place I lived because it was like, I don't know. I just didn't feel very comfortable in my house.
Yeah.
So it was but now I got my own little space. My girlfriend Maggie has her desk right behind me so we can work together. I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, so I'll use that as a segue. So you relaunch Summer Reads, I guess, or like how do you framing that?
I frame it as like, I don't know. I feel like when you use like relaunch, nothing at you, it's like a company. And like, so it's like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? It's like you're relaunching a business or something.
Yeah.
It's not a reunion because Summer Reads has always been this project for me that's like shifted between people.
Hmm.
Um, it started out as me doing an acoustic act in 2019, which I went on tour um, with the band Stand and Wave.
Yeah.
They're from Philly now. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They were like one of the first bands that kind of like took me under their wings and was like, this is how you book a tour. This is how you play an acoustic show as opposed to a live show. Like how you act in front of an audience. I got a lot of that from them.
Yeah.
So shout out to Stand and Wave.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, it was an acoustic thing. And then my buddy Mark, who I'd been playing with in a previous band I had, joined in. And that's pretty much where it started. And then COVID hit. So like everything shut down. But I got a couple friends from my community college,
Okay.
my buddy Kurt and my buddy Nate.
Okay.
And we did some shows right before COVID. And then we worked on an EP together. And then Summer Reads kind of morphed into Salutations. And so it died. And so I was like, well, I miss writing music in that style, in a
Yeah.
less aggressive style, which is something that like Salutations isn't opposed to doing.
Yeah.
It's just like Salutations is my more serious project, and Summer Reads is okay. I can work on this alone. Like
Yeah.
as basically, in a better way of saying it, Salutations is my cooperative project,
Yeah.
and Summer Reads is my solo.
I was gonna ask, like, would you call Summer Reads your solo project? Because I remember you had, I think, Party Foul for like a brief moment
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Party Foul was just like I needed a name for a show because somebody dropped the bill at
Yeah.
my house, which was a house venue,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I should have just done it under Summer Reads because there are like songs that I was like, oh, these will be Party Foul songs that are now Summer Read songs, which I plan on recording here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it because
Mm.
I know Salutations, like you said, it's a lot more aggressive, I guess, like more political.
Yeah.
And you know, if you listen to Bliss, which we'll definitely talk about,
Mm.
and then a lot of your, you know, like the Friends in High Places stuff,
Yeah.
you know, it's different. But
Yeah.
so but it's definitely cool that you can have like those two channels of, you know, to kind of channel what you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to write this more like, I don't want to say pop punky stuff, but
Yeah.
maybe that style, right? And then
Yeah. I'd call it like indie rock,
yeah,
pop punkish. Definitely the early stuff is pop punkish.
yeah,
Like the first two Summer Reads EPs. But like pop punk in the style of like Jeff Rosenstock and the Front Bottoms.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like now it's kind of more of like an indie rock, indie folk thing, kind of like a I'm shooting for like an Arcade Fire,
Okay.
Parquet Courts,
Yeah.
like energy, but Arcade Fire like songs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'm just
Yeah.
trying to mix things up. I've been really inspired by a lot of 90s bands,
Dig it.
like
All right.
Pavement.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend got me really into Rilo Kiley, which is early
Oh,
2000s.
dude, I love Rilo
But yeah,
Kiley.
we were moving in today and we had Execution of All Things on.
Incredible album.
Yeah, it's
Incredible album.
yeah, it's really I don't know, like I heard it for the first time like
They're
I don't know,
cathartic in
Matt,
a way, dude. They're so
yeah.
cathartic in a way. Yeah. Jenny
It
Lewis. Yeah.
yeah, it reminds me of like the songwriting styles of like a lot of bands that I really love, like Slaughter Beach Hog.
Yeah.
Because in like you definitely see how the pop punk of like the 2010s was so heavily inspired
Oh
by
yeah.
Rilo Kiley. Like
Oh yeah,
just
for sure.
their lyrical style like was done in the pop punk in just such a more childish way, I guess. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
um but yeah, they're everything's so catchy
Oh yeah.
and but it's like dark. I don't know. It's
Yeah, the lyrics are
It's pretty
strangely
great.
dark. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I play the like the title track for my daughter and she loves it. Like
Yeah.
she just likes the song. But it's actually a pretty dark song, which is
Yeah.
a lot of their work is. And I don't know if you know Jenny Lewis has a solo act that she's just kind of she's been doing
Mhm.
pretty successful because she opened for Harry Styles last year, which is, you know, impressive in its own right.
Yeah.
Um
I heard. I think when Maggie and I were just getting together in like June of last year, we like I was like I wanted to take her to see a concert, so I was looking up like
mhm.
Riley Kiley, like, and I saw that, oh, this band, because I discovered them last year. I discovered, oh, this band does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
So um I looked up like, oh, are any of the members touring? And she was touring, and it was like, oh dang, like we'll go. And then it was like with Harry Styles, it's like, oh, I don't really want to go anymore.
It's also like, oh, it's probably a little expensive, but never
Yeah,
mind.
It was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
no,
no, I'm
that's
good.
I'm kind of in a similar position how the Strokes were opening for the Chili Peppers, and I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to see the Chili Peppers, but I don't want to pay that money.
Yeah, that's definitely like, I really want to see the Strokes, especially since their last album.
Yeah,
Like, that's crazy.
very good album.
Yeah,
Um,
I found out I might be going to see MCR possibly in
ooh,
October.
in Albany.
Um, no, I think it's their hometown show.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, I didn't really get into them until I started dating Maggie too. And now I'm like, I feel like I missed,
Yeah.
like I was like where was my angsty period? You know?
What?
I
What?
got
What?
into like
Yeah.
it's weird, like my progression of getting into music. Um, I kind of just listened, like Aerosmith was the first band I ever got really into, and then I saw them
Okay.
in concert. I was into them for like 3 years. They were the only band I would listen to.
Yeah.
This is from like when I was like 6 to 9, probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, like, so what were your like, you know, your I guess your angsty period is what, 13 through like 16 traditionally for like anyone, right?
Yeah.
Hitting puberty. So what were the bands you, I guess, really enjoyed during that time? Like what were you
Like,
discovering?
okay, so when I was 9 to probably like 8th grade. So I don't know what the time period is there.
12, probably 12, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I got really big into Green Day.
Okay.
Like I had maybe like 6 Green Day shirts that I would just wear like in a row. Um, and that was during like Uno Dos Tres. So whenever
Yeah.
those albums came out,
Yeah.
not good albums. It's really funny because I've always had strong opinions about them because there are some really good songs on there
Yeah.
that don't deserve, like songs like Nuclear Family, where it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, like whatever Green Day, like, but it's not a terrible song.
You could probably
Um,
take the good songs off that trilogy and make one really solid album.
exactly. That's what like I've always thought. Like even when they were coming out, I was like, why didn't you just release one album with all the good songs?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then I got really big into the Foo Fighters. So
Okay.
the Foo Fighters from the age of like 13 to maybe 17
Okay.
were one of like them, Blink 182, um, who else was I really big into? Like all like the 90s bands,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
like late 90s, early 2000s.
So like maybe who was big? I mean, the Strokes came around that period. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeahs.
I didn't get into the
Cool.
Strokes yet though. Yeah,
Okay. I
like I
mean,
knew some of their songs.
kind of like the radio. I mean, like you ever get like Smashing Pumpkins, those like radio rock kind of bands.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like the radio
Yeah,
rock kind of bands,
yeah,
not bands like
yeah,
that I like find myself being inspired by now, that like Pavement
yeah.
and stuff like that wasn't played on the radio.
No, definitely, no, it
I
definitely
got really
wasn't.
into the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I mean, these are good bands, and they're really good introductions to like rock music.
Yeah,
So I dig it.
but yeah,
What's up?
all my friends at that time were listening to like um I remember when um X came out, everyone was freaking about X, and I was like, I don't get this. Um, like, and I didn't really I liked 90s rap music, like
Yeah,
late 80s and 90s rap music. So
yeah.
it wasn't like something I had against rap. I was just like, this
It's just not for
just
you.
does not sound good to my ears. Um, and then when I was 17, I got really into like Kendrick and Kanye.
Okay.
I had a whole year where I would just listen to like Kendrick, Kanye, J. Cole. I can't even remember who else, but like, you know what I mean? Like some of like the most like iconic
Yeah.
rap and hip hop artists
Yeah.
of like that time period.
I mean, I would argue those are the accessible ones because that's actually the same artist that I got into. Like
Mhm.
when I first got into hip hop too, it was like Kendrick and Kanye were the ones that really like I latched onto. Um, I mean, and they're also phenomenal. You know,
Mhm.
Kanye, modern Kanye notwithstanding, you can't
Yeah.
deny how important, you know, college dropout, 808, late registration, you know, through graduation and Twisted Fantasy. Like those are very
Mhm.
important albums. So I totally get that. I want to backtrack a bit, real quick to summer reads. Because I'm pretty sure you posted you have a single coming out on Friday.
Oh yeah, we have it's a song. It's probably the oldest Summer Reed song.
Okay.
Um, Post. Like I wrote it in 2020.
Okay.
I wrote it in
Yeah.
April of 2020.
So you've been sitting
Um,
on it. Okay.
yeah, I was sitting on it. It was supposed to be on the Pure Nostalgia um, track list. We ended up not doing it because I started writing an album, and I was like, "Oh, I'll put it on the album."
Yeah.
And then the band, I didn't feel like playing that type of music anymore, so the song never got released. But like 2 years later, up until like about a month ago, I was like always thinking about that song. I was like, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the best songs I've ever written. Um, but I don't know, like I started writing really different stuff, and it was just kind of like something that was like, well, I could start writing stuff like this again.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a good single to put out.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. All right.
yeah, I don't really have a lot of other plans for summer reads right now.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna be like working on music. I don't plan on doing shows really anytime soon for it.
Okay. That's
Um,
actually my next question.
yeah. Um, I had a gig scheduled for Saturday, but I just
Oh, you asked me about it actually.
yeah,
And I'm like, I'm actually leaving the country that day.
yeah,
Because like I would have done it otherwise, but it's all
yeah.
good.
But yeah, it's just like I want to find the right group of people.
For sure.
I would ideally like to do it where I don't have to play an instrument on stage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Um, which is like different because I'm playing all of the instruments on like the singles that I'm releasing for it.
Okay.
So it's like it's a solo project and everything is done by me, but I don't want to play it. I just want to sing it.
I think you're reading my mind because my next question was gonna be my two questions were gonna be so for these recordings, are they full band recordings, but it's you doing all the recording, and then are you planning on doing shows? And you generally answered that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like are you familiar with Say Anything? Max Bemis is?
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of did that near the end of it. His longtime writing partner had left the band.
Mm.
So I think for the last 2, 3 albums, Say Anything just existed as it was just like Max Bemis and then whatever collection of musicians he would take on tour with him,
Yeah.
you know, to fill out the backing band. But the band was Max Bemis, you know,
Mm.
which is, I mean, something you could do if you want. I'm, you know, plenty of musicians, I'm assuming. So there's
Yeah,
no
I
lack
think that's
of,
what I'd like to do. I'd like to just have it be like I would eventually like to get like a set
yeah, for sure.
like group to go around with, but yeah, it would just require like a drummer, a bass
Yeah.
player, and two guitarists.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like then we're a five piece, and it's so hard to play a five piece when you're around here.
Yeah.
Like people like really underestimate. Like stages just aren't built for five people.
No, they really aren't. And also like as a like when I play, a psychological thing for me is
Mhm.
like it's like between me and the crowd, there's a drum set, and I have
Yeah,
comfort in that. So, do you think you'd feel the same way, like not having a guitar, or have you performed actually just you on mic before? Do
I haven't.
you think that would make you a little more nervous, or how do you think you'd approach it?
I don't know. I think I would. I feel like I'd be more energetic.
Okay.
Um, because like when I'm playing a guitar on stage, for example, for like the Salutations stuff,
Hmm.
um, like I have to focus really hard on what I'm playing because a lot of the times,
Yeah.
the stuff we're playing is in different time signatures,
Yeah.
or like just a jam that we're just building off of. Like, so you really have to pay attention, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to sing in the vocal style that I sing it in Salutations,
Yeah.
and play the riffs. We recently, like, I love doing it, but it's
Yeah.
like
It's
it's a bit of
tough.
a chore. You feel
Yeah.
tired after you're on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I barely have a voice, and then like my fingers hurt because I played guitar. But yeah, I love it, but I think I want something different for it, like
Okay.
where I just want to like have a project where it's like, oh, I can just go up on stage and sing.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Understandable.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think I would approach it in a very like energetic, like crowd based way, kind of like
Yeah.
who am I thinking of? Like, have you ever seen Jeff Rosenstock play without
Yes.
his
Yeah.
guitar?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's all over and stuff like that. I would
Yeah.
want to do stuff like that. I wouldn't want to just like stand at the microphone.
You don't
Like,
want to be Julian Casablanca.
oh, I mean, I just don't think I could look that cool, you know?
That's the thing. He's like he stands there to be so cool. You're just kind of like
Exactly.
it
You're like,
makes
oh
sense.
wow. Yeah.
Like he's a no, I get it. I mean, yeah, you get a lot more crowd engagement, so I
Yeah.
dig it. I dig it. Kind of reminds me of I'm picturing just like Tom DeLonge when DeLonge, I'm not pronouncing his last name. When he went to
Yeah.
Angels and Airwaves, he like doesn't
Oh
have a
yeah.
guitar anymore, and it's so weird like seeing him that way. To me, it still is. But I get it. I dig it. It's
Yeah.
actually actually I can use that as a nice segue for Salutations.
Yeah.
So you released Bliss not too long ago.
Mm.
And so you when I last saw you, you told me you guys were proceeding with the recording of the album. So
Mm.
do you have the next single? Do you have like an idea of when the next single will release, or what's your
So right now for Salutations, um, we just lost our recording space because
Zach graduated?
well, that too, but also like SUNY Purchase is closed.
Yeah.
Like, we have friends who will record us at Purchase
Yeah.
anytime, once it's open again, but just it's closed for the summer. So
Well, how long, like what percentage would you use to say like the album is X amount percent complete?
we have 1, 2, 3, we have 5 songs done.
Okay.
2 of them without vocals, but instrumentally.
Yeah.
5 are done.
Yeah.
And we don't know how many songs we want to be on it. Really, right now, we are taking a step back to look at the album.
Okay.
Because we recently, it's not announced yet, but it is a thing. So I guess it gets announced here.
Yeah, if
we
you
have
want.
We have a new guitar player and vocalist.
Oh yeah, like backing vocals. Okay.
We'll split. We're gonna split it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, it's exciting.
Yeah, we Connor Gibson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
he was in Winky's podcast, if you remember Winky's podcast.
Yeah, dude, they ripped. They're so good.
Yeah, he was that?
What did he play in Winkies? I don't like, so I can have
He played guitar.
Okay.
He was the guy that you saw playing the Dan Electro guitar.
Yeah.
Long blonde hair.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It fits because Winkies was tight, and I could definitely see him like definitely fitting in with the kind of stuff you want to play with Salutations. Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He's like one of the best guitar players I've ever seen. Yeah. He doesn't use a pick, which is really interesting to me.
Okay.
He only plays finger style.
Yeah.
Like, but he'll strum, but like,
yeah,
he's mainly just like doing weird shit with his hands, but like it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to start writing with him. We've gotten him in to write 2 songs, and then at a certain point we were like, dude, why don't you just join?
Yeah, I'm at that point, right?
Yeah, it was really cool. He has a project called Wiring.
Okay.
Purchase. I don't believe they have any music out yet, but they have live video from their sets at SUNY Purchase.
Yeah.
They played 1 show. I've heard the demos for that project. It's insane.
Okay.
It's like a Greg Mendez, which is, if you don't know who Greg Mendez is, for anybody listening, great artist out of Philly. He's always super helpful.
Yeah.
he just sent me his new album over private link.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. No.
So good. He doesn't sound, he sounds like Elliott Smith, but in such a
Ooh,
modern way.
that's high praise though.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. I
No,
really
that's
love
that's
it.
that's great.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I really love the stuff he's doing.
For the listeners, anything Ryan recommends, definitely check it out because Ryan has never recommended me anything that's bad. So
Yeah,
I back I back his recommendations. So go do that. What was I gonna
yeah.
say? I mean, well, so for live, that would definitely take some of the burden off of you, just like with your guitar duties, let you
Yeah.
focus a little more on vocals too.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna focus more on we're getting a lot of synthy sounds.
yeah.
Like if you hear in Bliss,
Oh
like
yeah.
that lead is a synth sound that Zach wrote.
Okay.
Because he's like, oh, it needs a melody. And the whole time the band was arguing, like, no, it doesn't need a melody. Like the guitar is the melody.
Yeah.
Because the guitar's doing like arpeggiated chords
Yeah.
during that time. But he goes, no, like it needs a melody. And we're like, all right, you can put one on there, but we don't, like, John and I were like, I don't think we're gonna like it. And he put
Yeah.
it on there. I was like, don't take that off. It's so good.
I mean, I do trust Zach's ear, and I'm
Yeah,
sure you do too. Zach's a phenomenal musician, and he's also an
yeah,
incredible producer. So yeah,
yeah. Zach's who produced.
Yeah. Oh
Bliss.
yeah. I remember listening to it, and I texted you and I mentioned it to him on Instagram, but what stuck out to me was like, oh, there's synth on this. Okay. And it was really, but it was like really cool. Like it really worked. Like listening
Mm.
to it, I'm like, oh, like I actually would have never expected that. But
Like,
then I thought like, wow, this works so great.
that's
And
what's really, really great about Salutations right now. We're
yeah,
all so collaborative.
yeah,
Um, and I'm very used to in bands because all the previous bands I've been in, I kind of write almost everything except for the drum part.
yeah,
Like um it's very like, oh, like this is the structure,
yeah,
the lead melody I want, these are the lyrics I want. And with Salutations, it feels really great because we can all shut each other down.
yeah,
Like if like something's like, oh no, that wouldn't work, or we think this would work better. It's
yeah,
like we were writing a song in 7/8 last time we were together, and I'm really bad at 7/8.
yeah,
But Connor comes in and he's like, no, like play this, like
yeah,
telling me what, like, and he's like, I'm playing in 4/4 while the band's playing in 7/8.
yeah. Okay.
And
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah, but it works because Connor was like, oh yeah, and here's a lead part, and he just started playing it.
Yeah.
It took him like 5 minutes, and like the song is like, it went from the song I'm least excited about on the record to like the song I'm most excited about. And I had lyrics written, and I was like, no, Connor, you need to write lyrics for this. This is your song now.
I was
So
gonna,
like,
yeah. I was gonna ask, quick thing. Do you see the time left up timer as well, or is that just show for me?
yeah, I see it.
I didn't realize because like I've recorded with Dan and Andy, and I've never had that issue before.
Mm,
So if anything, I'll just save this file, make it a two-parter, or Dan could just
got it.
combine the audios. But okay, so Dan will hear this on his producer end.
Mm.
Dan, do your thing. So I was gonna ask, so is Connor? It sounds like Connor's also gonna be writing lyrics too. Some obviously the music, since you mentioned he was writing with you guys already at Purchase.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're definitely open to him. Like, yeah, write some lyrics. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, as I see Salutations as anybody can do anything.
Okay, yeah, that's
Like
awesome, dude.
if our drummer John comes to me with lyrics, it's like, hey, I got this great idea, because John also plays guitar and bass.
Yeah,
Like if he came like, yo, I got this riff, I'd be like, okay, like
yeah,
let's try it out. Let's see how it works together.
okay,
That's really how I'm trying to approach this, because every other project I've ever been in, it seems that like it's just me, and people are looking at me for like, oh, what do I play? And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Like,
You want
and
to
it's
delegate?
weird because
Yeah.
it's been like, that's what I've become known for.
Okay.
Like when people like, I don't know, like, because I'd been in one other band with Zach, and Zach was used to me just like writing everything and controlling everything.
Yeah.
And when we started going to the studio for the first time with John, I was like, Zach, do your own thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to I don't want to be a control freak over this. I just want to
Yeah.
make music with my friends, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's understandable. I mean, yeah, like I played with you, so I always personally I always saw it. I was like, well, it's Ryan's music, so I'll play whatever he
Yeah.
wants me to. But I get that, it's like I understand like not wanting to be that way. No one wants to seem like a control freak,
Yeah.
I
It's
totally
not
get
even
that,
like
man.
seeming like one. It's like I just don't
Yeah, you don't want to
I
be
don't
one.
see like it for the first time in my life, like I
Yeah,
don't see Bliss
yeah,
as my song
yeah.
because
No, for
it's
sure.
like it was made by so many people. Like we had two drummers
Yeah,
who had versions of Bliss that were very different from each other.
yeah,
Like Mark, who we wrote the song with,
yeah,
and then Gene had a very different way of playing
yeah,
the song. And then John came had a different way.
yeah, for sure.
My guitar part went from being like less rhythmic and
Hmm.
more like I don't know, like it was very like straightforward,
Yeah,
bump, 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 bump. But then like I don't know, it just got to me being set on okay, well I'm just gonna make this the rhythm part, like
yeah,
where like I we want you to follow the bass in that song
yeah.
because the bass is like hypnotizing.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I sang Bliss so many different ways from
yeah. No,
times we had it
exactly.
too.
What was really cool for me is what I heard, what I knew Bliss as was what
Mhm.
we had played at gigs.
Yeah,
But then I remembered like, oh, that was just a demo, basically, and
yeah,
a demo and a final product can be very different.
yeah.
So really listening to Bliss, the single version, was like such a cool, like it was actually a really cool experience for me because to
Mhm.
me it was like this is a whole new song. And I loved that. Like I really loved that it wasn't just like, okay, yeah, I know what the song is because I've played it, which
Yeah.
again, not that I would have thought like, yeah, boring, I would have been like, okay,
No, yeah.
cool. Just listen to it. Like it was a really great experience for me because like, oh, this is awesome. I don't know the song.
Yeah.
And something that stuck out for me was the way you sang it, especially at the very end. You're just kind of like this, you're basically like you're pushing your voice to the limit.
Oh, it was I will explain that because that's a really good story.
Yeah,
Um, we had the date for like we had the date that we wanted Bliss to come out,
yeah,
April 15th.
yeah,
And it was like early March and we started recording it and Zach wanted ample time to be able to work on it.
yeah,
So it was 2 in the morning and we really wanted to finish the song that night. And I live an hour and a half away from Purchase.
yeah.
So like it's a long drive home, but it was 2 in the morning and we were like, all right, we're gonna get this done in one vocal take. It was two. But it was like we had to stop it and then we just went back and
Yeah,
finish like from where we started from where I messed up. But so it kind of was 1.5 vocal takes.
yeah,
Um and I just wanted to go home and lay down in my bed. So I was very, very annoyed and angry that
yeah,
day because
yeah,
it's just like I'm gonna get home at like 4 in the morning.
yeah.
It's gonna suck. Um
For those who don't know, by the way, because it's not like Ryan's like, okay, 2 o'clock, I'm gonna go in, record for 4 minutes, I'm done. Like you still have to, pack up, get your
oh
stuff
yeah.
back to your car. Like, you're not leaving until like 3 at that point.
And we already had like
Yeah.
what was we'd probably been recording for like 5 hours for
Yeah.
them.
No, I get it.
Like
It's a
just
long day.
yeah, we had like so many problems with like microphone cables and the board of the
Yeah.
room we were in, like where it
Yeah.
was just like it maybe took us 3 hours to start recording the
Yeah.
actual song.
It's a process. It's a process.
Yeah.
So you
Um
go in there and you had done your one take and you said you guys started from, I mean, it sounds like you're just like, I'm already pissed off. I'm just gonna fucking let
yeah.
it out, channel all of that in a song.
Yeah, and when it came to the end, we had always played um the end of that song instrumental. There was no words to
Yeah.
it. And we up until that song hit in my headphones, I told Zach like, no, keep recording.
Okay.
Um, and I just kind of went with it.
Yeah.
And there was points where I thought I couldn't say the truth because my throat hurt.
Yeah.
So I just screamed.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's where those come from.
Oh, it comes across. I mean, but it comes across as like you can tell like you're really feeling what you're saying. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's like, and it's. I mean, it's good music. You know, it's I like how it's you're feeling. You know, your energy. You know, like from the message of the song.
Mhm.
But now we also know like you're also just feeling what you felt in that moment. You know,
Yeah.
and that's still coming across, and that's great. You know, it's
Mhm.
art, and that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think
not the best for your voice, but
no,
we bleed for our art, don't we?
I won't do that live. Zach's like, you got to do it live now. I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna have a voice in 5 years if I keep doing that live.
Exactly.
Nah, that's awesome, dude. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
glad. I mean, again, like anyone, the song sounds great. It's called Bliss by Salutations. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, right?
On everything.
It's on everything.
Yeah.
Bandcamp, Title. Actually, I don't know if it's on Title, but
It is on title.
oh shit, no way. Okay, so go find it. Go listen to it. It's a great song. And I wish I could say, or Ryan could say next single when, but it's fine. The wait will be worth it.
Next single, not confirmed.
Okay.
Um, we are doing a small weekender in August,
Okay.
starting August 4th on my birthday and going
Okay.
to August 8th. The plan is to have the single come out August 5th,
Okay.
if we can find a space to finish recording.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, we want to have the album pretty much done
Yeah.
before we decide what the next single is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at less than a minute, so I'm just gonna let the recording die and I'll just do it again so we
Cool.
can just continue. But
Cool.
oh man, how are you?
I'm good.
I wonder if I should stop the recording now, what it'll do.